Other suspect, Anna Janot.
Why not?
I know. Yeah, I know. What the hell? Why the hell not? Because she was told that there were Jews hiding in the warehouse. But I just threw that one in for fun. I don't have any reason to believe she is. And of course, another theory is that they ratted themselves out just by getting careless, leaving windows and.
I'm going to be honest. This is the one I'm leaning towards.
Yeah.
How many times have you moved into a place and you had to do something very specifically, and there's these rigid rules, and then you start to get more and more lax about it?
You're going to get careless, you know?
You're going to get careless. You're going to leave the window cracked. You're going to leave the blinds parted. You're going to talk in a normal voice instead of a hushed tone. You're just going to automatically flush the toilet in the middle of the afternoon because you really felt like that should have been flushed right away. I mean, this just happens.
Yeah.
People just tend to get comfortable and go back to their old habits.
Particularly if you've been living there for 2 years.
Yes.
2 years, and you think, well, we haven't been caught yet.
Yeah, you might get. You might just thinking, what the hell? You know, we're bulletproof.
Yeah.
But
Somebody crank up the gramophone.
I know.
May as well. Let's have a tap dancing competition.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day.
But yeah, I still think that it wasn't one of those situations where somebody heard some weird stuff going on next door or the building across the way, was talking in the cafe, was overheard by a Nazi collaborator. There was a deliberate tip-off. There was a phone call made. So somebody did rat them out. It just was probably not nobody on our list here. Could have been somebody who lived nearby.
Somebody who lived across the street or worked across the street and just kept seeing this weird stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And so quite possibly one of their neighbors that suspected something was going on.
Or saw a curtain open.
Or saw people in there when it was a business where there shouldn't have been people there on the weekend or after hours. There was money to be made. It's a great way to curry favor with the occupiers. So that most likely is it. Probably nobody on our list. Just some random person watching the building and thought, hey, there's some Jew hiding going on here, and ratted them out.
Yeah. Wow, did you just make that one up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
The problem with the mystery is there's just too many people who could have known and could have had suspicion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the policeman, remember I talked about him, Karl Silberbauer, the guy from Vienna who was, he headed the raid, and he was tracked down in Vienna in 1963 by Simon Wiesenthal. You've heard of Simon Wiesenthal, right?
I think so.
No.
You never heard of him?
I haven't.
Very, very famous Nazi hunter.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Yeah, I knew I'd heard the name.
Yeah, and so Wiesenthal tracked him down in Vienna because he was back in Vienna. He was working in the Vienna police force at the time, and he was asked about the call that was made. And Silberbauer said that the call was made to his superior officer. He had no idea who the caller was, and he was just basically told to go to the apartment or go to the annex and arrest these people. And so that's what he did. But he had no idea. And unfortunately, the guy, the superior officer who actually took the call, committed suicide not long after the war. So the one person who probably knew the identity of the caller is
or at least
dead.
The gender.
Oh yeah, the gender. Yeah, because nobody even knows the gender. A lot of people have said it was a woman, but nobody really knows that for sure. And incidentally, Silberbauer, he was suspended from his job at the Vienna Police Department. Well, yeah, because he'd been doing this, sort of collaborating kind of stuff, and then. But it turned out Otto Frank, of all people, put in a word in his favor. He said that he felt like Silberbauer had been very civilized and nice to them, and hadn't been brutal or anything like that, or cruel. And that
you hear a lot of stories of guys in that position being.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that Otto Frank felt that he was just doing his job and following orders, and so that actually got him reinstated in the Vienna police force.
Gosh,
yeah.
That's one of those kind of like restorative moments.
Kind of like
for me,
this forgiveness stuff.
Yeah, that like restores my faith in humanity. That somebody who's lost literally everything that they ever had in their entire life, and has gone through just more hell than we could ever understand, would be so forgiving to be able to say that guy was just doing his job.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault.
That's on the level of the things that you hear about, like Gandhi or the Dalai Lama do, where somebody brutalizes them, beats the holy hell out of them, and they just turn around and they're not your fault. I forgive you," or something for some
You hear
effect.
about
in some
it
way,
sometimes with like mass shootings.
yeah,
Every once in a while, people will come and comfort the family of the shooter.
Yeah.
You know, those people who are families of the victims. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I would be that big of a person if something like that happened to me, but I definitely would not.
no, you'd be
Yeah.
holed up at home with a gun.
I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
that dude did it. It was his
Yeah.
fault.
No, I think that
this is why we do show stories that are over 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Devin
is.
can't get like that.
Because I don't get
Yeah,
vigilante
I know.
on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. No, I
Yeah.
think that I don't think that Otto Frank was all saint like and Gandhi like or
No, I
anything
don't
like
think
that.
so either, but I think
But
that
I
was
think-
an incredible moment.
Oh yeah, because you got this one guy who's perfectly fine and perfectly nice to you and says, "Sir, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna take you away. I apologize. I'm sympathetic, but if I don't do what they tell me to do, they're
They
gonna
will
shoot
kill me,
yeah,
so.
and so,
They'll
yeah,
kill us all.
yeah.
And
so-
there's a bunch of other dudes here watching what we're talking about.
Yeah. So that's about it. Unless you guys have any other theories or suspects.
No.
No, not really.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna try to fit Chupacabra into this one, but Shannon told me no way.
Yeah, I read that email. She did. She accused all three of us. She was like, if Devin, you.
We're not gonna go there. No Chupacabra for this one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so that's it. I think that unless, it's still possible. I mean, somebody might somewhere find some papers or something. I mean, it's
Maybe,
still
but at this
possible.
point, I think that all of that stuff has been picked through with such a fine-tooth comb.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is another one of those ones where, so we talked about that in Hinter Kaifek. It's unsolvable at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key pieces of the puzzle are just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
They are. No, it'd be just a fluke if you came across, somebody's papers and everything like that. It was all very, very, very documented and everything. Maybe. Okay, possible. I doubt that it's going to happen. If you've got any theories of your own, though, you can send us an email. That's at thinkingsidewayspodcast@gmail.com. If you are indeed the rat and you're still alive, well, you're pretty old.
But we'd love to hear from you.
Well, we would love to hear from
Yeah.
you. So come on, rat, send us an email. Our website, where you can,
Thinker.
yeah, the think. Our website is thinkingsidewayspodcast.com. Of course, you can listen to episodes there, leave comments. You can check our links, which we always put up links.
And there's a merch.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there is
if
merch.
you want to get a T-shirt or a mug or something, and then
Or a
the
Chupacabra nightlight.
donate button.
We've got the
right there.
donate button and the Patreon button there, which, by the way, we haven't said this in a while, and this is our bad. I know people have been hitting those buttons, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is true.
We have been remiss, we've been very bad about saying that.
That's
really close. Yeah.
That is really
Yeah.
true. Yeah, people have been hitting the Patreon
good.
stuff. Yeah,
You guys
it's
are doing
really
real
awesome.
good.
We
You guys
appreciate it.
rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys help to offset the costs of maintaining the website and all that because, it does cost us money because we get a huge amount of traffic. So it means we have to pay extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the website. What else? iTunes, yeah. You can find us on iTunes. So please subscribe and review. Good review, preferably. You can stream us from just about anywhere. There's all kinds of streaming services. We're on Facebook. We have both our page and a group, so you can be part of both of those. And we're on Twitter. Thinking Sideways, not thinking, but thinking.
I actually did a tweet the other day.
Yeah. You did a tweet?
I did a tweet!
That's rare.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that you did a tweet, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
It was a single sentence in response to something,
Oh.
because that's all I know how to tweet.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
We also have the subreddit, Thinking
Oh, I
Sideways.
forgot about the subreddit.
I
yeah.
haven't made a
Super
Reddit
dead.
yet.
There's an attempt at a conversation of every episode. It's interesting. If you're on Reddit, subscribe.
I noticed
leave
a
a
lot
comment
of
or
those
two.
conversations are happening on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be the more popular way. I'm not going to say it's the better way, but it's the more popular way currently.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely, the Reddit thread is another place to go and discuss these things.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Good
I'm
point.
there. So if you see any of us, quote unquote us, talking on Reddit, it's me.
Yeah.
Probably.
Come talk to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Well, what else we got to talk about here? Patreon. Mentioned that already. That's entirely voluntary.
Right.
You can pledge a certain amount per episode if you want.
What's the address for that forum, just so everybody knows what it is?
It's patreon.com. It's patreon.com/Thinking Sideways.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Super easy.
And you can go out there and pledge, up to, I don't know if there's a limit. If you
There's not.
You can pledge like $1 million an episode if you want to.
If you want.
Yeah.
And I will go ahead and say, if you pledge $1 million episode, you own us.
You guys,
That's right.
be realistic for our listeners. $100. $100 a
Realistically,
realistic number.
$100.
$100 an episode.
That's about the average that we're seeing.
Yeah,
We joke about this, but again, I know we said this
No,
earlier.
even
Thank
50
you
cents.
so much for everything.
Even 25 cents is so helpful.
That's right.
You'd be amazed at how those things add up, and
Yeah.
they really do help us.
They do.
Yeah. We like. Yeah, so that's about it. Any last parting thoughts, you guys?
No, I don't have anything else.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, either. It'll never be solved. Sorry, Ann.
I'm just depressed now.
Yeah, I know. Sad story.
Yeah, no, way to pick us up.
Thanks, dude.
We'll do something cheerful next week.
Yeah, two cheerful stories from Joe in a row.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Way to go, buddy.
Sorry about that. We'll do something. I'm going to do like an Easter Bunny story next week.
Sweet.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Imagine serving 20 years in prison, knowing you didn't do the crime. From the Emmy-winning filmmaker of Paradise Lost comes the new docu-series Wrong Man on Starz. The series follows the stories of 3 inmates claiming innocence and a team of investigative experts who reopen their cases to seek the truth. Watch Wrong Man premiering June 3rd at 9 p.m. only on Starz. Get the Starz app and start your free trial today.
Thinking Sideways. Well, hi there. Welcome to another episode of Thinking Sideways. I am your host, Joe, joined as always by
Devin.
and
Steve.
Yes, that's
And this week we have a horse co-host.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, Devin's had a little problem with her voice, but bear with us. It still sounds good. I can understand you. So I think we'll be all right.
My cousin told my new husband that this is actually my real voice that I've been hiding from him for the last 4 years.
I love this theory.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
actually,
pretty good.
there's worse news. I mean, it could be like, oh, I never told you. I actually have a really high-pitched voice.
And it's really annoying. This
Yeah,
is actually
I-
pretty annoying. So
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to that. But yeah, too bad about the voice. But next week it'll be better, I'm sure. So we got a mystery to talk about this week. So let's get right into it, eh?
Hey.
Yes, we're going to talk about the mysterious death of Willie McRae. That's William McRae, popularly known as Willie McRae, a Scottish lawyer and politician who died in a strange auto accident in 1985. This was strange because when the smoke wouldn't have been fatal to him, it also turned out he had been shot in the head.
what?
Yeah.
Which is not normally what happens when you wreck a car.
No, not typically.
usually.
Yeah, it came as kind of a surprise. Before we go any further, though, I want to give a shout out to our listener Michael, who suggested this story way back in 2015. So, hey, Michael, I assume you're Scottish, so yeah, tell all your Scottish friends. And in honor of all of our Scottish listeners, I'm going to do the rest of this episode in me Scottish brogue.
Well,
No.
that's going to destroy our ratings.
okay, never mind. I'll skip the brogue.
So let's talk about Willie.
Yeah.
Let's get into this thing.
No, I know. I'm sorry, and another apology to our Scottish listeners, but whenever I hear about a Scotsman named Willie, there's only one Willie I think of.
Groundskeeper?
Groundskeeper Willie. I know.
Knew that's where you're going to go.
I know, but yeah. Anyway, back
We haven't been doing this for 5 years or
I know.
something.
Yeah.
So back to William McRae. Willie was born in 1923 in Scotland, of course. Served in World War II in France and then also in India. Did a stint in military intelligence. Eventually went back to civilian life and became a lawyer. Went on to start his own law firm, Levy and McRae, in Glasgow, Scotland. Willie also joined the Scottish National Party. He was indeed an intense Scottish nationalist. He was big into that whole thing. He began to rise in the ranks in the SNP, and he rose to the rank of vice chairman in the party. He also stood for election several times, but never actually won office.
It seemed like every time he ran, it was a wider and wider margin from him being able to take the seat, if I remember the numbers correctly.
Yeah.
Like they really liked him at first, and then he just kept running, and his numbers just kept going down like Paul Rand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You mean Rand Paul?
Rand Paul. Yeah, you know what? People know him both ways. It doesn't
Paul
matter because
Rand,
nobody
Rand
voted
Paul.
for him.
I know. Yeah, well, the funny thing is I never met the guy or anything like that, but I've seen video of him speaking. And actually, the guy was a good public speaker. I mean, I thought he was anyway.
Well, sometimes what happens is somebody's a good public speaker, and so people are really taken with them at first.
They don't like their ideas,
and then they start to actually listen to their ideas and see how effective they are, and maybe question, is this person actually going to be effective? Maybe they haven't been proving themselves. Maybe they're
what is his platform? Maybe his platform isn't as awesome as we thought.
So maybe at first he was just on charisma, and then next it was kind of like every single time they said he's less and less effective. This is not a good idea.
Or maybe he just had a really bad run of luck, and every time he just had a better, more charismatic opponent.
Maybe
he had a bad run of luck there. I don't know, but anyway, that didn't totally hold Willie back. He didn't get an MP position or anything else, but he was still pretty influential, I think, in the SNP and Scottish politics until the fateful evening of Friday, April 5th, 1985. When Willie McRae left his house in Glasgow to drive to his cottage in Ardell, which is about 110 miles northwest of Glasgow, 175 kilometers, and that's crow miles. Road miles would be nearly twice that because there's no direct highway that goes to Ardell.
What is that in cow miles?
Yeah, in crow miles.
No, in cow miles.
Oh, cow miles. It's like 186,000, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can find Ardell. It's just.
I guess I would have called that cowlometers.
I like that. Cowlometers.
We're gonna start calling them. No, the look on Devin's face says no, we're
not. No, we're not.
Okay, so we'll nix in that idea. Ardell is like kind of towards the west coast of Scotland. It's on a loch, which is actually kind of a fjord, which actually connects to the sea. So you can almost call it a seacoast sort of town, but no, we shouldn't. Reportedly when he left, he took his briefcase and a bottle of whiskey with him.
And it was, what time? It was in the afternoon, right?
It was 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was Friday, time to go away for the weekend. He headed off in his maroon Volvo 244. And sometime that night, probably around 10 p.m., it's not absolutely for sure, but he was driving north on the A87 road, about 24 crow miles from his destination, 38 kilometers.
Kilometers?
Yeah, kilometers, exactly. And his car left the road for some reason. Nobody knows exactly sure why, but it looks like it rolled a few times, because I've seen a few photos of the car.
It looks pretty beat up.
It's banged up, yeah. It wound up about 90 feet from the road. It pointed uphill. So it went off down a gently sloping hill and was pointed uphill towards the road, where it came to rest. It was straddling a burn, which is Scottish for a very small stream. And this one was really small, like kind of a rivulet, really. And if you want to see the crash site, the coordinates are, write this down, if anybody cares, 57.116314 by minus 4.982081. That's on the A87 highway, about 2.5 miles south of the intersection with the A887 road.
Wow, that string of numbers is going to be easy to remember.
Oh,
especially
I know.
for everybody who listens in the car.
I know, exactly. How many car wrecks are we going to cause?
None. Drive careful,
Yeah,
all of
drive
you.
careful. You can always go back and look this up again, and I should also warn you, this is where there's a monument to Willie. There's a kind of a cairn that some of his fans built for him there by the side of the road, and that's believed by most everybody to be the crash site. But there's a few people who say the crash site was actually about a mile south of there, so just before one.
Yeah, because there's some conjecture there.
Yeah, there is.
Can I just ask real quick?
Yeah.
Is him being on that road at 10 p.m. was about when he would have...
Yeah, because
on that?
the trip from Glasgow, according to Google anyway, the trip from Glasgow to Ardell is about a 4-hour drive via the A87 road and everything.
Okay.
And so if he left at 6:30 and he was most of the way there, then he should have gotten there no earlier than, say, 9:30 and no later than 10. Now, of course, that's depending on
He was like 3/4 of the way there, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was 40
yeah.
miles away, and it was only 110
Maybe
miles.
stop for a spot of dinner
Yeah.
and a couple of drinks.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was
okay.
110 crow miles.
Oh, right.
Road
okay.
miles,
Oh, okay, okay,
road
okay.
miles
Yeah,
more like
sorry.
a couple hundred.
I forgot that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, so he probably stopped for dinner, pee breaks, gasoline, that kind of thing. Maybe he had to
It's
take
called
a
petrol, Joe.
yeah petrol.
Get with the times.
Oh, okay. Maybe he had to take detours to try to shake off the special branch tails that were following him. I
You're
don't
getting
know.
ahead of
Yeah.
yourself.